What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you exactly step by step how we get our clients strong, lean, and pain-free at any age and level and turn them into lifelong athletes. If you guys are ready for that, I want you to just hit me up in the comments and just say strong, lean, and pain-free right now in the comments section. Let's go. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how we set this up and why results are so reliable. But I want to take a minute and show you what you can expect, what our typical results are with our actual clients. And these are all super recent as well. So let's take a look here. Okay, here's a few of my favorite very recent testimonials, okay? And you're going to notice that they're all different age ranges, male, female, athlete, non-athlete, which I'm very proud of, okay? So this is Bart. He's in his 50s, and he came in, he was in a very bad place. He was sleeping 12 hours per night. His joints were extremely achy. He had a bunch of fat that he needed to shed, and it was bad. But he was very faithful. He followed the steps. He's very humble and coachable, awesome dude. And we were able to get him sleeping 7.5 hours per night, out of joint pain, and he shed over 30 pounds of fat. No counting calories, no fad diets. He just followed the steps. It was awesome. One of my favorite things is like you could just see the difference even in his posture. He's breathing through his mouth here and he's breathing through his nose here. He looks more confident. It's just amazing. Like everything just transformed. Super excited about that one. This is Robert. He was 59. This picture is actually 60 now. So he was turning 60. And honestly, he was kind of nervous about turning 60. He was like, I want to transform my body. I want to get out of joint pain. He's a hockey player like me. He wanted to get out. He wanted to unretire himself from rec league hockey and get back to playing, which is something that was really important to him. And he had so much shoulder pain that he thought he was going to have shoulder surgery. We were able to get him out of shoulder pain in 30 days. And then we were able to get him out of hip and back pain. And he literally messaged me the other day and was like, I think I'm going to start playing hockey again. Plus, as you can see, he built a crazy physique for like a 25-year-old, let alone someone that's about to turn 60. No counting calories, no extreme fad diets, just followed the steps, worked hard. He loved the foods that he was eating. So much fun. All right, this is Josie. She was interesting because she didn't really need to lose weight, as you can see. She just wanted to kind of recomposite her body. And for her, she realized that she wasn't eating enough. And specifically, she wasn't eating enough protein. So we upped her protein and her overall calories, even though we weren't counting calories, but just the way we estimate it. I'll show you that here in a little bit. We made her eat more, and she was able to bang out 5 perfect pull-ups, which is just like crazy for anybody, but especially usually that's a little bit harder for women. So that was a huge accomplishment. This is Michael. He's in his 60s. He's an awesome dude. He lives in Nashville, Tennessee, which is where I'm from. He coaches hockey. He's really big in his community, just like a great dude. But he had 4 knee surgeries, was in tons of knee pain, and was like having to start to say like, maybe I'm not going to be able to play hockey anymore. And he's a goalie. So like lots of hip and knee mobility required for that. Despite having 4 knee surgeries, we got him completely out of pain and back playing goalie for his hockey team. And he dropped over 30 pounds of fat in his 60s. That's wild in your 20s or 30s, but definitely a few decades after that. All right, this is Matt. This is one of my favorite ones. He's easy to brag on. There's not many times where I tell people like not to start a program. But in his case, he was having a new baby and he had just started a new job. And I was like, all right, pump the brakes a little bit. Do you want to wait a few months and just revisit this like a little bit later this year? And he was like, yeah, I get it, man. Thank you. But I think I can do this. So I was like, all right, man, let's go. So he dropped a bunch of fat, got super muscular, like those are crazy back muscles, and no counting calories. He loved his workouts, got really strong, and did that all with a new baby in the house and a new job. I mean, talk about no excuses. I loved working with him because it was like Monday mornings he'd message me and be like, oh, I'm so excited to work out today. I'm getting stronger. My body's changing. Just had an awesome attitude, which is such a big part of this. This is Amy. She's in her 50s. She was really interesting because, again, didn't really need to like shed a bunch of fat necessarily, even though she did. She got lean and muscular, which is awesome. But the biggest thing, in her words, she had never had a healthy relationship with food or with her body in her entire life. It had always been a point of stress. Like oh, I ate this and now I have to go work out, or I have to starve myself for the next day or so. And it was always a point of stress for her. So what we did is we started shifting that perspective towards food and towards her body. We set it up so that she loved the foods that she was eating. She wasn't counting calories. And she was another one, much like Matt, that she loved her workouts. And she would always message me like on a Monday morning because I'd send out new workouts and be like, oh, yeah, I get to work out on this. I get to work on this week. And was super excited. Drop some fat, change her body. And I love her after picture because she looks so strong and confident and just looks happy, which is so cool to not have stress surrounding your food. Maybe you've experienced that in the past. If that's you, it's not just for women. Like body image issues is women, men, young people, old people these days. A lot of us have to deal with that. If that's you, I just want you to hit me up in the chat and just say, that's me. It's serious stuff. I know what that's like. I'm here for you, okay? And here's a couple of my other favorite ones. This is like serious joint health stuff. This is Carrie. He's an awesome filmmaker here in Arizona. And he loves to do long desert mountain, like crazy hard hikes. That's one of his things. He's only in his mid-50s, and he's bone on bone in one knee. And he was having to start to say no to his friends and family when they would invite him out to go on hikes. And as you can imagine, it was a really emotional thing. He was like, I thought I was going to be doing this for several more decades, and I'm having to like stop. Whatever you told me to do, I'll do it. And so in one winter, we got him out of pain and back doing really hard hikes, totally pain-free, despite being bone on bone in one knee, which is like a borderline miracle. This is a pretty long list, but I'll share one more here. This is Brad. He's in his 50s. Awesome dude, great husband, loves his family, successful in business, but he had some serious health stuff going on from a couple wrecks and some other health stuff that he was experiencing. As you can see, his spine is out of alignment. He had some arthritic issues in his joints. We had some serious stuff we had to overcome. But anyway, we got him out of joint pain and worked around those injuries in the process. And he built an awesome physique in his mid-50s. No counting calories, no hormones, no steroids, nothing sketchy. He just followed the directions and got wild results. I kept telling him his back looked like a silverback gorilla. And what was cool is like, he wasn't in a bad place before. You know, he had some muscles and stuff like that, but it's just like everything just got better. And we were able to get him squatting down, lunging down, despite those joint issues from the past, which was like a miracle. Super duper fun. So this is what we do, guys. If you follow the steps, you get the results. Now, I did want to take a minute just so you know a little bit about my background. Some of y'all know me and some of you guys don't, that I got to play minor pro hockey for a few years. I competed in American Ninja Warrior, and now I've been training people for about 18 years. But I did want to share one thing about my story because a lot of people have a good before and after. And I have like a before and after followed by like another before and another after, which I think is relevant because it'll give a lot of you guys courage for whatever season of life that you're in. So my background, as you may know, is I was a hockey player growing up. And pretty much every hockey coach told me the same thing. Oh, Will? Yeah. Nice kid, hard worker, skilled, kind of slow. That was like my label for a very long time. And I wanted to play pro sports. And so I worked as hard as I could. I knew I needed to get faster. So I did Olympic lifts to get explosive. I did sprints to get fast. I did weightlifting to get strong. I did agility. I did conditioning. I did all the stuff that you do. And you know what happened? Not a whole lot. I didn't really see the transformation that I needed to see to get myself where I needed to be to go to the next level. Maybe I got a little bit better at the things that I was like already kind of good at, but I didn't fill in the gaps with stuff that I wasn't good at. Like I wasn't getting more athletic. And so I kept searching and learning and researching and getting coaches and mentors and teachers to teach me stuff that I didn't know about. I read books. I did all the things. And finally, I found stuff that actually made me better. I wasn't naturally athletic. I wasn't naturally genetically gifted. So I had to go and create that stuff out of thin air. And none of the traditional stuff that most people teach worked. And it doesn't work for most people. So I had to go and learn something totally different. And it transformed my life to the point where I went from being slow and unathletic to playing minor pro hockey and getting called one of the fast guys by my coach. Transitioning out of hockey and getting to compete in American Ninja Warrior for 3 seasons. So that's like my before and after, right? I'm very proud of that. slow and unathletic, to getting paid to play sports for 5 or 6 years. And it was a blast. Very thankful for those memories and those experiences. But the interesting thing, and why I wanted to share this to encourage you, is that I transitioned out of that season of life, playing pro sports, to getting married, having kids, and running my businesses. And it was a totally different life experience. And honestly, it was really, really tough because for a long time, when it was my job to play my sport, it was perfect. I could set up my days and my programs however I wanted. I could train as much or as little as I wanted. I could eat perfect. My sleep was perfect because that's all that I did. But then when I retired and I got into like real life stuff, it was no longer perfect. Anybody else ever experienced that? Just hit me up in the chat if like life is imperfect for you, but you still want amazing results. Just say it's imperfect. But what I had to learn, and this is why it was really exciting, it was actually empowering, though it was frustrating at first, was that even when it was imperfect, I could still make it amazing. I could translate all those lessons that I learned when it was my job to play sports to this new season of life. And I could still get incredible life-changing results. If I'm being completely honest, I feel pretty darn similar right now, I'm about to turn 39, as I did in my mid-20s. But I've adapted my training, my nutrition, my sleep, everything for this season of life. And there's times where like, maybe when my kids get sick and I have to be there for them, I skip a workout. Or maybe one of the babies is up in the middle of the night and I'm not sleeping. I get it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And this is how I had to change my mindset because I wanted to quit. If it wasn't going to be perfect, I was like all or nothing. I'm a recovering perfectionist. If it wasn't perfect, I would just be like, I'm just not going to do it. I'll wait until it's going to be perfect. But like perfect may never happen again. Anybody else relate to that? You're just waiting for the perfect scenario and then month in, month out, year in, year out, it just doesn't come. And so you don't start. I don't want that for you. I want you to be wildly empowered in this season of life right now to love your training, to love the foods that you eat, to get amazing sleep and recovery, to be able to manage your stress, your mind, will, and emotions, to bring it all together. And I want you to love this process. Okay? I want you to get strong, lean, and pain-free and become a lifelong athlete regardless of your age and level. And yes, we still work with high-level athletes. In the last year, we've had 17-year-old state champion high school football players all the way up to grandparents in their late 70s, and everybody gets epic results if they follow the directions, scaled to their respective level and their situation. Does that sound good? Does that sound like something that would be beneficial for you to be able to set this up in a way that you can get incredible life-changing results at your respective level and in your season of life? If you want that, just hit me up with some fire emojis in the comments right now, guys. And I'm going to switch gears right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how we set this up. You guys ready? Let's go. Now, real quick, if you're watching this video, it's probably one of two scenarios. Either you've already booked a game plan call with me and my team, or you're just gathering information and you're interested in my coaching programs and what this all looks like. Either way, I want you to leave this video with so much value that you feel just wildly set up for success. Okay? That's always my goal. I want anyone that watches like any of my free content to just get, honestly, more value than most people's paid programs. So that's what I want to do here, okay? Now let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, so this is 4 steps to being strong, lean, and pain-free. This is what sets this type of coaching apart from things that you might have tried in the past. I'm very clear on what this is and what this is not, and who it's for and who it's not for. All right. I don't want to be like stuck in the middle of it's for everybody, because it's just not. Okay. I want people that are willing to put in the work and really want to create a massive transformation. All right. So this is not traditional personal training. Nothing against personal trainers. I used to be an in-person personal trainer. There's a lot of great ones out there, but there are some challenges with that traditional model. If you've ever walked into a gym and been like, hey, I'd like to get a personal trainer, and they're like, great, let's sit down at this little desk. What do you want to do? And you're like, well, I want to shed fat, get out of pain, and get in shape. And they'll be like, great, how many sessions do you want to buy? And you'll be like, as many as it takes for me to get my result. And it's kind of a weird dynamic because their whole goal is to just sell you sessions. And there's often not a real strategy or a plan to reach your goal. It's just buying more sessions. So unfortunately, you see a lot of well-meaning people go and get a great personal trainer, spend a lot of time and a lot of money over a period of weeks, months, and even years, and still not really move themselves towards their goals. Does that make sense? And that makes me very, very sad because I don't like to see people waste time or money. And I want to see people move strategically and reliably towards their dream outcome. So I am not in the business of selling you random sessions with random workouts. I'm in the business of offering you your dream scenario. So when you come to me, I want to get really clear on what your dream outcome is. And then we create programs and steps to get you there as efficiently as possible. Now, one of the other challenges with that traditional model, again, even if you're doing great workouts with a great trainer, let's say 3 times per week, is that it only focuses on one piece of the puzzle, and that is the workouts themselves. Now, you're going to hear me use this phrase, the 4 components of health and fitness. And they are training, nutrition, sleep, and mindset. Those are the 4 components of health and fitness. And it's basically everything that makes up our life experience. If you're only working out and your nutrition's terrible, you're not going to see great results. If you go on a diet, but you're not sleeping, you're not going to see great results. If you're chronically stressed, then your workouts aren't going to get the result that you want. Okay? So we don't want to have just like 1 or 2 or even 3 of these pieces of the puzzle working. We want to have it all set up and all dialed in so that it matches and it works together. Does that make sense? Just hit me up in the chat right now if that makes sense. I know it's a very different concept than what people have been introduced to in the past, where it's like, I just need to go do endless cardio and eat less. That is not this model. I don't want you to have to diet into oblivion where you're hungry all the time. I don't want you to have to do endless cardio where you just hate going to the gym and it just like creates a trigger response. I don't want that. I want to set this up so that you're empowered to love the way that you feel, to love your workouts, and so that it fits within your lifestyle. All right? Just say, I want that in the comments right now, if this is making sense for you guys. So component number 1 is your training. As I said, I call this athletic reprogramming. Guys, this is my 18 years of coaching experience funneled into the workouts themselves. They are designed to undo the bad habits that hold you back and replace them with appropriate habits. All right? So maybe you plateaued and you can't get stronger. Maybe you have aches and pains when you squat or when you do push-ups or bench press. We're going to identify those flaws, undo those bad habits, and replace them with appropriate habits. And while we do that, you're going to get extremely strong, athletic, and durable. And this is where people remove pain. I love training, so this is something that I find very fulfilling to implement into people's lives, and it's where they start to really enjoy their workouts. Okay? But as I said, that's not enough to just work out. We want to get your nutrition dialed in. I call this adaptive nutrition. This is where we set up your eating plan, your nutrition, in a way that is unique and personalized to your situation and your respective goals. It's not a cookie cutter approach. All right. Now I say you get strong in the gym and you get lean in the kitchen. So these 2 things, they can work independent of each other. That's why maybe in the past you've seen people that are very strong but kind of fat. Or maybe you've seen people that have a good physique, but they're not very strong. We don't want to have one or the other. We want to have both those things dialed in together. Okay. And this is where we really start to see transformation. Okay. So the training is great. That gets you strong and pain-free. Then we want to get your nutrition dialed in so that you change your body. Now, even if I just left you there, that would be a massive step in the right direction. But it's all 4 components. Number 3 is your sleep, or I like to say the ultimate performance enhancing drug. If you want to get great results, then get your sleep and recovery dialed in. I actually started creating sleep protocols for my clients, like a little routine that they do before they go to bed so that they can maximize their sleep and recovery. I didn't realize how beneficial this was going to be. It was a happy surprise for me. I thought I was just going to tell people, hey, make sure you get enough sleep, and they'd go do it. Turns out a lot of people have sleep issues these days, and it's not just like 20-year-old kids in college. It's like young people and old people and men and women and people with high-powered jobs or whatever scenario that they're in. So when we implement these sleep protocols, pun intended, it's like results tend to come overnight. And it's something that clients just love. They'll usually message me a couple weeks in because it takes some time to kind of figure out how to do this and get it dialed in. And they'll be like, dude, I feel so good. I have so much energy. My mood is so good. My libido's increasing, like serious stuff that impacts their lives. And then finally, component number 4 is your mindset, or as I like to call it, the identity upgrade. In my opinion, this is the most important and most overlooked part of health and fitness. The reason this is so important is because I can micromanage you into getting results. I can text you every hour to see if you're eating right and if you're working out and make sure you're doing it, but neither one of us want that. And the real problem with that is even if you get great results, when a program's over, you'll almost always fall off the wagon and regress back to old habits. But if I can get you to start to see yourself in a different way, to upgrade your identity, then you'll never fall off the wagon again. You'll never backslide because you won't be on a diet. You'll just be living life. It'll be your new sense of normal. That's where the good stuff happens. That's where the massive, lifelong, lasting transformation happens. All right, does this make sense for y'all? Is this starting to like ring some bells and see how, oh, maybe in the past I've done just 1 or 2 of these things, but I didn't have it all dialed in and I didn't have it set up so it works together? But if you get it set up where it all matches, it correlates, training, nutrition, sleep, and mindset, you will transform your life and you'll never go back again. One last thing here, we'll finish up, guys. About this time, usually people start to say something like, wow, that sounds amazing, but like, how does it actually work? So this is how we actually deliver workouts. We use an app called True Coach, which is my all-time favorite coaching tool. Clients absolutely love it. It's maybe the most powerful thing I've seen for creating a continuum when we're not together. Like I said, if you just go to the gym, you do your workouts, then you leave, what are you doing the rest of the time? We can keep all that together in one place. Your training, your nutrition, your sleep, all that stuff. And you can be giving me feedback, all right? And I can be coaching you through those protocols. So it operates like an interactive calendar, as you can see there. You get directions and descriptions and video demonstrations directly to your phone or your computer. You can message me back and forth on there and say, this is hard, this is easy. Hey, my knees are feeling much better while I squat, getting stronger in my push-ups or my bench press. It's brilliant. You can even upload video of your sets. Click the little video camera icon, set your phone down, and then do your set, and I can coach your form. It's brilliant. As I said, it's so helpful for creating a continuum. Maybe you train at the gym, or you train at home, or at your office, or you're traveling and you're in the hotel or an airport. We can keep consistency during all those scenarios so you don't skip a beat. As we finish up here, I want to leave you with these last couple thoughts. I think it's important to acknowledge the negative potential outcomes as well as the positive potential outcomes. So let me ask you these questions. If nothing changes, where does that leave you 6 months from now, 12 months from now? Where does it leave you 5 years from now if you don't make these changes? Are things going to stay the same? Are they going to magically get better? Are they going to get worse? And you're going to have the same conversation 5 years from now, but in a worse scenario, trying to solve a bigger problem? And let me ask you this. A lot of times people will say, hey, you gave me all the information. I'm going to go do it on my own. And I'm like, that's great. I support you. But let me ask you this. If you could do it on your own, why haven't you yet? We regularly accomplish in a matter of weeks and months what takes most people years to accomplish, if they ever accomplish it at all. Now, I don't want to leave you on a negative thought there. So think about this. What could you accomplish in the next few weeks and months with me designing programs specifically for you, unique and personalized to your respective level and your goals, the things that are most important to you? A training program, a nutrition plan that is adapted to your lifestyle, sleep protocols, even the mindset component. What could you accomplish? What would it look like 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 5 years from now, if you take these steps? That's a good thought to think about. Okay, now, if you are prepping for a game plan call with me, I just want you to hit me up in the comments and just say got it, so that I know that you watched this video. If you're watching this and you're still gathering information and you're like, dude, I am on board, I'm ready to go, I want to hear more, and I want to know what it would be like to work with you, I want you to just comment game plan below, and I'll personally reach out to you and I'll get you set up with all the information to jump on a game plan call with me and my team and implement these principles and these programs into your life. Thank you so much for listening, my friends. I appreciate you, and I believe that your best days are ahead.